Good evening. The meeting will now come to order. Welcome to the June 25th, 2026 meeting of the City of Greenville Board of Adjustment. Ms. Clerk, can I have a roll call, please?
Ryan Purtle,
Here.
Carol Bass, Jermaine McNair, Sterling Ruffin,
Here.
Nick White,
Here.
Jeremy Jordan,
Here.
Clayton Sell,
Here.
John Southworth,
Here.
David Newman,
Here.
Sebastian Cressley, William McCurry.
Here.
We have quorum.
All right. Mr. Attorney, do you want to come forward and tell us who our voting members are, and can you give us your statement for the minutes?
Thank you very much. Chairman, members of the board, tonight's voting members, Chairman Purtle, Mr. Ruffin, Mr. White, Mr. Jordan, Mr. Self, Mr. Southworth, Mr. Newman. This hearing is an evidentiary hearing. That means it is like a court hearing. State law sets specific procedures and rules concerning how this board must make its decision. These rules are different from other types of land use decisions like rezoning cases. The Board of Adjustment is a quasi-judicial body that makes a decision concerning an application, petition, or appeal based on the evidence presented by those in favor as well as those in opposition. The members of the Board of Adjustment are laypersons, and as such, the rules of evidence that are followed in court are relaxed for cases heard before this body. Though the rules of evidence are relaxed, it does not mean that they are ignored. The board's discretion is limited. The board must base its decision upon competent material and substantial evidence in the record. A quasi-judicial decision is not a popularity contest. It is a decision constrained by the standards in the development regulation and based on the facts presented. If you will be speaking as a witness, please focus on the facts and standards, not personal preference or opinion. Participation is limited. This meeting is open to the public. Everyone is welcome to watch. Parties withstanding have rights to participate fully. Parties may present evidence, call witnesses, and make legal arguments. Parties are limited to the applicant, the local government, and individuals who can show they will suffer special damages. Other individuals may serve as witnesses when called by the board. General witness testimony is limited to facts, not opinions. For certain topics, this board needs to hear opinion testimony from expert witnesses. These topics include projections about impacts on property values and projections about impacts of increased traffic. Individuals providing expert opinion must be qualified as experts and provide the factual evidence upon which they base their expert opinion. Pursuant to North Carolina General Statutes 160D 109, 160D 406, and Section 4 of the Board of Adjustment's Rules of Procedures, no board member shall participate in the discussion or vote on any special use permit, variance, or appeal from an administrative officer's decision that would violate the affected person's constitutional right to a fair and impartial decision maker. Pursuant to Rule 4.4 of the Rules of Procedure for this body, no board member shall take part in the hearing, consideration, or determination of any matter in which that board member has a financial or personal interest. Pursuant to Rule 4.6 of the Rules of Procedure for this body, no member shall discuss any case with any parties in interest prior to the public hearing on that case. At this time, I call upon board members to disclose any ex parte communications, conflicts of interest, or bias that would violate the right to a fair and impartial decision maker. Seeing none, Chairman Purtle and members of the board, this concludes the opening statement.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Attorney. We will move on. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda for this evening?
So moved.
I have a motion from Mr. McNair. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. And hopefully everybody's had a chance to read the minutes from our last meeting in May. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
I have a motion from Mr. McNair. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Thank you. We will move on to new business. We have a public hearing on a request for a variance by the City of Greenville Project Management Department. The applicant, the City of Greenville Project Management Department, desires a variance from Section 9-4-729, sidewalk requirements along existing public streets of the Greenville UDO. The applicant is requesting a variance from the requirement to install approximately 1,100 feet of sidewalk along Old Pactolus Road. The project is located off the western portion of Old Pactolus Road. The property is further identified as being tax parcel number 10256. At this time, we'll ask that all members speaking for and against come forward to be sworn in.
Mr. Chairman, I apologize. I did not see Mr. McNair enter, and so that would just change the voting members. Mr. McNair in lieu of Mr. Newman.
All right, thank you. Thank you. All right. And at this time, we will have Mr. Jones come forward and give us staff's preliminary report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good to see everybody tonight. So the project in question is a variance request on Old Pactolus Road. You can see the star there denotes the location of the project. Here's a close-up of the aerials. You can see Old Pactolus is intersection with Greenville Boulevard, and Wildwood Park is over on the eastern side of Northeast Greenville Boulevard, and then the remainder of Wildwood Park on the western portion there. So this property is approximately 160 acres of total lot area, with 1,400 plus or minus feet of road frontage along Old Pactolus, that portion of Old Pactolus Road. So the zoning map shows this as split zoning. So you've got office residential and RA20. So across the road, directly north of it is Parker's Chapel Church. That's also zoned office residential. South would be the remainder of the City of Greenville property. That's Wildwood Park. Then east, that small little triangle portion is vacant, but it's heavy commercial. And then west of this property is also the City of Greenville property. So you can see here on the future land use map, it's got a couple different character areas there. So you got traditional neighborhood, medium high density, and commercial for the subject property. Just to note that all city of government municipal uses are permitted in all of the zoning districts, and so therefore it is in compliance with the future land use plan. So you can see here a notice was posted on site. That notice was posted on June 10th. Notice of this public hearing was also published in the Daily Reflector on June 13th and June 20th, as well as a letter to all adjacent property owners within 500 feet of the property. So here's a map of the entirety of Wildwood Park. You can see on the left side of your screen, there is a little bubbled area denoting where the variance request is going to be. So just for some pertinent information, sidewalks are required for development along a number of public right-of-ways in the city. So the city is currently proposing a new development within Wildwood Park. They submitted a site plan. Upon that review, engineering determined that the sidewalk was needed along that portion of Old Pactolus Road. So with that, the city's requesting that variance due to a couple of different things. Ultimately, it's leading to an area on 264 that pedestrian facilities are not likely to be ever constructed. So it would be a kind of a sidewalk to nowhere if that would be the case. So just for reference, that blue line denotes where the entrance of the new development is going to go with the piers and everything. So there's where the sidewalk is required to be, and that red is where the sidewalk variance is being requested. So do have Lisa Kirby with the director. She's the director of engineering in attendance. She can add anything or answer any questions you guys would have for it. But at this time, I'll answer any questions you guys have of me.
Can you bring back the site plan, please? And just for the good of the group, the request is a variance to not have to build the sidewalk, correct?
To not have to build that sidewalk, yes, sir.
I have a couple questions, but I'll let the other members of the board ask if they have any.
Well, so for me, have not seen a case like this, and my question is more about the spirit of it. Is the spirit of this more so an opportunity for the public to come and provide input, or is the spirit of it for us to truly make a determination as an extension of the city? You know, if you get what I'm asking.
Yeah, I mean, the request is for you to decide whether the variance is, whether a variance is warranted in this situation. I can say that ultimately, the city's being treated just like any other applicant. So if an applicant was to develop that site, private developer, and they didn't want to put it in, they'd be treated the same way. So I think the staff is probably not getting ahead of ourselves, but we're in favor of the variance being granted. Just because I said before, 264, you know, directing people to walk toward that area is not what we want to do. If you look at the way Wildwood Park is situated, there's actually internal trails that would supply access to both sides of 264 through those internal sites. So if you look, so that they'll still have to put sidewalk here, which would direct, you know, future sidewalks going up to, you know, Pactolus, I think that's 33 right there. So you would have people walking here, but they would be able to enter the park here and then navigate across the highway through the internal trails or pathways, rather than going, you know, along 264 where there's a, you know, high rate of speed out here.
Thank you.
Is there parking on that side of the park that they're proposing?
There will be parking, yes.
Where at?
So, and Mark, I don't know, did you bring anything that would show that? I was gonna show the site plan, but it was really, the site plan doesn't do you any good because it doesn't really give aerials or anything. But I'll let, Mark Nottingham with the project management department, he can probably explain a little bit better, but that parking is gonna be somewhere in this area when you come here, and then parking, or the piers are gonna be, built somewhere in that area too.
Any other questions for city staff?
Just one question, Mr. Jones. I noticed the future land use had commercial general. Is there, after this section that we're talking about developing right here, that section right there, that's zone commercial, is there plans to eventually divest that from the park and carve that off into something else on that section of Old Pactolus Highway, or is that?
Yeah, to my knowledge, no, but I think Mark could probably give you a little bit more information on that as well. I think you're generally just gonna see commercial future, like a designated future land use character area on those intersections. That's commercial. That's usually where you see your commercial nodes is the intersection. So that's probably why it's like that.
All right, thank you, Mr. Jones. Mr. Nottingham, you want to come forward and tell us a little bit more?
Sir. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for your time tonight. My name is Mark Nottingham. I'm a project manager with the city of Greenville. So what we're proposing is a new driveway, parking lot, and fishing pier and kayak launch on this side of Wildwood Park. The only way to access that side of the park right now is to park on the east side of the park and then walk underneath the highway through a paved connection. So we have an existing network of trails on this side of the park, and that's, you know, the safer way to travel from, you know, one side of the highway to the other. This project was brought about by a community member who wanted to fund more access for recreational opportunities, and that's pretty much it. I'd be glad to answer any other questions you have.
Any questions for the applicant? Under the requirements of a variance, my assumption is you would be claiming unique circumstances due to the location being on 264. Is that
Yes,
fair?
I mean, the size of the property is large. You know, the location was pre-existing when the city purchased it. And it does have, you know, tremendous amount of road frontage. And, you know, we are committed to installing the portion of sidewalk that would actually be functional. But, the strict application of the ordinance would be kind of a hardship for us.
Any other questions for Mr. Nottingham? Thank you, sir. You may take a seat. If you don't mind, can you sign in for us?
I sort of had a question.
Oh,
Is that- According to this, view of the property, it looks like the walking trail is it already there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, is almost parallel to the variance that you're seeking to not
Yes,
build it?
sir.
So like, they're close to each other?
Yes, sir.
So essentially, you would be just making another sidewalk, okay?
All right. We have no speakers against this request. So, Mr. Jones, you want to come forward and give a staff's recommendation?
So staff is in the opinion that a variance will not adversely impact the property or surrounding area. In staff's opinion, the variance request meets the ordinance criteria, therefore, staff recommends approval.
Good. All right, thank you, Mr. Jones. At this time, I will close the public hearing and open for board discussion. To kick us off, Mr. Attorney, I'm going to ask that you come forward or just answer a quick question for us. Because this is a variance, our criteria are a little bit different. Is that correct?
They are. From a voting standpoint, you need a 4/5 majority decision, which would represent 80%.
And the actual criteria themselves are pursuant to the variance request, right? Conditions and specifications, notice, unnecessary hardship, unique circumstances, and general purpose and safety and welfare. Is that accurate?
That is correct.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Attorney. All right. Any other board discussion? All right. Seeing none, we will read our criteria. For expediency, criteria will be read by reference. You may call for a vote on any criteria as read. Silence on each criteria is recognized as a vote in favor of the application. Conditions and specifications, notice, unnecessary hardship, unique circumstances, general purpose of the ordinance, safety and welfare. And that was it. At this time, I will call for a motion for the approval of finding of facts.
So moved.
I have a motion from Mr. McNair. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. At this time, we will move for a motion for approval of the petition with staff's recommended conditions. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
I have a motion from Mr. McNair. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Your petition has been approved for the variance and will be effective as soon as we sign the paper, which hopefully Brian brought tonight. Yes, all right. Thank you. At this time, we'll move to our last agenda item, which is election of officers. And Mr. Attorney, is there any pertinent information you need to give us about election of officers?
Mr. Chairman, does the chair wish to proceed with the information that was provided, or would you prefer that I do?
You may, feel free to take it over, sir. Go for it. It's all you.
The election for the office of chair and vice chair will proceed as follows. I will call for nominations. Nominations will be made. No second is required for a nomination. I will repeat the nomination and ask for further nominations. After no more nominations are forthcoming, I will declare that the nominations are closed. After the nominations are closed, the board will proceed to a vote, starting with the first nominee. When there is more than one nominee, the board votes in the order in which nominees were nominated. As soon as one of the nominees receives a majority vote, I will declare him or her elected, and no votes will be taken on the remaining nominees for that office. Nominees are now in order for the office of chair.
So if I could, do we have the the seniority, the list of seniority for the members, because I think that is kind of pertinent in the,
Carolyn's obviously.
Seniority is Chairman Pirtle, Carol Bass, Jermaine McNair, Sterling Ruffin, Nicholas White, Clayton Self, Jeremy Jordan.
I nominate Chairman Pirtle, unless he doesn't want to be nominated.
I'll do it. I'll do it again.
I'll also.
Are there any further nominations? Let me pause 1 second. Mr. Pirtle is nominated for the office of chair. Are there any further nominations? There being no further nominations, I declare nominations are closed. Those in favor of Mr. Pirtle for the office of chair, say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Mr. Pirtle is elected to the office of chair. Nominations are now in order for the office of vice chair.
I nominate Mr. McNair.
Mr. McNair is nominated for the office of vice chair. Are there any further nominations? There being no further nominations, I declare that the nominations are closed. Those in favor of Mr. McNair for the office of vice chair, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say no. The ayes have it, and Mr. McNair is elected to the office of vice chair.
Thank you, Mr. Attorney. Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. All right, thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you.